My girlfriend said, "You're not successful enough to post on my Instagram." Despite dating for 2 years, I said, "You're right." Then we broke up and I became extremely successful. Her influencer friend who tagged me 6 months later, I, 29, male, was eating leftover pizza at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday when my girlfriend of 2 years said it. We were in her apartment in the suburbs of Chicago. A Wednesday night, her place smelling faintly of candle wax and takeout. She had her laptop open, editing a post for a jewelry brand. Some sponsored content that paid her a few thousand a month, respectable for a side hustle. Megan had a following of about 92,000 people at the time. All of them tuned to her aesthetic, luxury, lifestyle, success. She glanced at her phone, scrolling past notifications from skincare brands and fashion collabs, her fingers poised delicately on the trackpad. I was half watching a show, half watching her work, noticing the meticulous way she angled her head, adjusted the lighting, and curated every pixel of the photos. Then, trying to keep it casual, I asked, "Hey, when are you gonna post me?" She didn't look up. "What? On your Instagram," I said, keeping my tone light. "We've been together for 2 years." Never once appeared in a single post. Her eyes flicked at the screen briefly, then back to the image she was editing. "We've talked about this," she said. "Have we?" I pushed. "You say it's private, but all your friends get featured constantly. Why not me?" She sighed, finally swiveling her chair to face me. "Megan, my Instagram is curated. It's aspirational content, designer brands, luxury trips, polished aesthetics. My followers expect a certain standard." Something in her voice made my stomach twist. Standard. Like I was being measured against some imaginary checklist. "Yes, I make what? Around $80,000 a year base. Usually $95,000 with commission. Drive a Civic. Live in a 2-bedroom in the suburbs," I said, letting the truth sink in slowly. She tilted her head, expression casual, almost clinical. "That's fine for real life," she said, "but it's not Instagram material." Her words hit like an invisible punch. "Not good enough. Too normal. Too mid-level. It's about brand alignment," she added, as if that explained it all. "If you were a founder, a finance guy, someone with the lifestyle my followers aspire to, sure, but mid-level sales? You confuse the narrative. Your reality. I'm selling a fantasy." I set the pizza aside. My mind spun, half in disbelief, half in quiet fury. "You're saying I'm too normal to be seen with you." "Not too normal," she corrected sharply. "Brand alignment. Mid-level," I echoed, tasting the word, letting it settle over me. That one stung more than it should. 2 years of my life, 2 years of shared dinners, lazy Sundays, trips to IKEA, and it boiled down to one word: mid-level. I stood slowly, feeling a quiet resolve form in my chest. "You're right," I said. "I'm mid-level. I'm comfortable. And I'm done being comfortable. That's why we should break up." Her eyebrows rose. "Wait, what? 2 years, and I wasn't good enough for your Instagram," I said softly, deliberately. "That's not love. That's convenience. It's not real." She blinked, maybe in shock, maybe in disbelief. "You're serious?" "Absolutely." I grabbed my jacket and turned toward the door. "Enjoy your curated life. I'm going to live mine." Driving home, I didn't feel angry. Humiliated, maybe, and a little free. Sitting in my car, staring at the dim streetlights reflecting off the pavement, I felt something click. I had been coasting, comfortable, complacent, settling into mediocrity. But Megan's words, shallow as they were, had lit a fire. The next morning, I walked into my manager's office. "I want the enterprise accounts," I told him. He paused. "The big ones?" I nodded. "I'm ready for the challenge." He studied me for a long moment, then smiled. "Hell yes. Let's talk strategy." And just like that, the first step of the next chapter began. Long hours, brutal negotiations, deals worth 7 figures, and a drive fueled by proving to myself, not Megan, that I was capable of more. The following weeks were grueling. My alarm was set for 5:30 a.m., and I was at my desk by 6, coffee in hand. Spreadsheets and prospect lists spread across 3 monitors. Weekends were no longer for brunch or casual hangouts, they were for researching enterprise clients, building presentations, and rehearsing cold calls until my voice rasped. My friends noticed. "Dude, "Are you okay?" my roommate asked one Saturday when I stayed in instead of meeting him at the bar. "Yeah," I said simply, just focused on proving I wasn't mid-level anymore. Focused on proving to myself that I wasn't defined by anyone else's shallow opinions. It paid off faster than I could have imagined. Month 1, I closed a deal with a regional hospital network. 7 weeks of back-and-forth negotiations, endless conference calls. But in the end, $620,000. The commission alone was absurd, almost $43,000 in one check. My manager pulled me aside afterward, his eyes wide with genuine surprise. "Whatever's driving you, bottle it and teach the team," he said. Month 2 brought an $890,000 manufacturing deal. Month 3, a regional retail chain for $540,000. By month 4, my title had officially changed. Senior Account Executive. Base salary increased to $110,000. With a commission structure that finally matched my ambition. Enterprise accounts were now mine exclusively, 7-figure deals, high-stakes negotiations, a real career path worth fighting for. I nodded in quiet satisfaction. I expected the results because I had earned them. By month 6, I closed a $1.4 million contract with a multi-state hospital system. The negotiations had stretched over 2 months, a relentless test of endurance and patience. But every call, every meeting, every late-night email was worth it. I was no longer the comfortable, complacent guy Megan had dismissed. I had become the person I knew I could be. Alongside my professional glow-up came personal changes. I moved into a downtown apartment, finally a place I could be proud of, with a view I didn't have to apologize for. Bought a sleek, used Audi A5, upgraded my wardrobe with tailored suits and fitted casuals. Joined a gym where I wasn't just passing time, I was building strength. The world outside felt sharper, cleaner, more alive. And every step reminded me, this wasn't about Megan. This was about me, my growth, my life. Then, exactly 6 months and 1 week after the breakup, my phone buzzed. Instagram notification. I froze. The influencer friend Megan had often collaborated with the one with 150K followers. Had tagged me in a story. Screenshot of my LinkedIn showing my new title. Text overlay. "So proud of this one. Massive congrats." I stared at it. Then, 2 minutes later, a DM. "Oh my God. Saw your promotion. That's incredible. Coffee soon." My chest tightened when I noticed the sender. Megan, third name to view the story. 6 months of silence, and now, suddenly, she was reaching out. I didn't reply immediately. 30 minutes later, another DM. "Hey. Long time. Saw your promotion, amazing. How have you been?" I typed back simply, "Thanks," left it at that. Minutes passed. She sent another, a little more insistent. "Senior account exec is a big deal. You must be closing huge deals now. Lunch sometime." My thumb hovered over the keyboard. 2 years together. Broken up for 6 months. She chose to ignore my existence, only to return once I'd proven myself. I typed nothing. I closed the app. Then came the escalation. Her friend group, Megan's influencer peers, started messaging me. All variations on the same script. "Hey, maybe you could just hear her out. She's really grown. She made a mistake. Don't you want to forgive?" Ignored. Then her friend posted publicly a vague story about strong women, learning from heartbreak, finding closure, subtly hinting at me. The comments exploded. "He needs to forgive her. Second chances exist. She clearly loves you." Random strangers were DMing me, piecing together who I was, assuming I was the villain. My LinkedIn flooded with connection requests from people who had only seen Megan's posts. My company's social media pages were inundated with strange messages. HR called me, and not angry, just cautious. 2 days later, I got the real blow, an official cease and desist from Megan. Claims of harassment, defamation, emotional distress. My blood ran cold. I hadn't said a word, posted nothing, interacted zero. I took the papers to a lawyer. He read, then laughed. "This is intimidation," he said. "No case, zero merit. You're in the clear." A professional, firm response was drafted, served, certified mail. Blocked all contacts. The posts vanished within 24 hours, but the narrative Megan had spun in her world lingered. Her followers still thought I was the villain, the toxic ex. But I was calm. I knew the truth. I'd grown, succeeded, and moved forward while she attempted to rewrite history. A few weeks later, life began to feel almost normal again. Megan had moved on, or at least, she tried to convince the world she had. Her new posts were full of curated smiles, expensive meals, and perfectly lit moments with some real estate guy she seemed to like. Comments flooded with praise. She's glowing. Finally found someone who meets her standards. Living her best life. I scrolled past once, then closed the app. I didn't care. Then, unexpectedly, one of her friends approached me at a coffee shop downtown. We'd met a handful of times while I was dating Megan. She walked over hesitant. "Hey, just wanted to apologize for the social media chaos. It got way out of hand. We all knew some of the story, but it was messy." I nodded. "Thanks, appreciate that." She continued, quietly. "Megan's doing better now. Seeing someone new. Seems serious, but I just wanted to make sure you're okay." I smiled. "I am, really." The truth was, I had grown in ways I never imagined. Megan's rejection had been brutal, shallow, and at the time, humiliating, but it had lit a fire. I had been coasting, accepting mediocrity, comfortable in routine. Her words pushed me to strive for more, bigger deals, harder challenges, career growth, and, importantly, self-respect. I had built something real, tangible, and mine. And then there was love, but this time real love. About a month ago, I met someone new. Her name is Qley. Works in procurement for one of our clients. Smart, funny, grounded, independent. She doesn't post every meal or curated coffee photo. She's real, authentic, genuinely herself. I introduced her to my friends last week, and one of them pulled me aside. "Dude, she's great. Like, actual adult woman great. And she is. I like her. I respect her. I enjoy her company." For the first time in a long time, I felt that thrill of connection without the performative pressure of social media, without anyone measuring me against a fantasy. It was liberating. Meanwhile, Megan, she kept her aesthetic life in motion, her posts polished, her story arcs carefully plotted. Followers cheered her growth journey. I didn't care. My life was lived off-screen now, in reality. My promotions, my career successes, my new apartment, my car, my love life, it all existed for me, not for likes, not for validation, and certainly not to prove anything to her. The final confrontation with her 6 months after our breakup, coffee in hand, face to face, was revealing. She admitted she'd been wrong, acknowledged the mistakes, said she had grown, been in therapy, and was genuinely sorry. But it wasn't enough. Not because I was bitter, not because I hadn't forgiven her. It was because she had made a choice 6 months ago that defined the end. Success wasn't the issue, it was timing, values, and authenticity. 2 days later, her mother called. Concerned, protective, furious at how Megan's behavior had spiraled into harassment. I stayed calm, explained the facts. I had moved on. I wasn't punishing anyone. I was just living. Megan needed to face the consequences of her choices. And the final blow of absurdity. The cease and desist, lawyer letters, social media frenzy, it all vanished, deleted within a day. Yet, the lesson remained. People will act out, project, manipulate narratives. You can't control them, only yourself. You can't change their perception, only your actions and growth. Now I live intentionally. I wake up motivated. I manage multi-million-dollar deals. I nurture real relationships. I'm proud of my accomplishments because they are mine. Not curated, not Instagram ready, real, authentic, rewarding. And as for Megan, she found the person she thought fit her brand. I found someone who fits my life, someone real, someone I respect, someone who sees me without filters. The best revenge, the ultimate victory, wasn't posting my success. It wasn't proving her wrong. It was becoming someone I'm proud of, someone I don't need anyone else's approval to value. So here's the truth. For anyone who's ever been told they're not enough, don't chase external validation. Don't try to fit into someone else's narrative. Use it, not to prove them wrong, but to prove to yourself that you are capable of more. Build your life for you. Grow, achieve, thrive. The people who truly belong in your life will see that without needing proof. The rest, let them be. Reality is better than curated fantasy. And in my reality, I am exactly where I'm meant to be.